Okay, what's up guys? It's your boy Uncle Chris here, and today I'll tell you the story of my life, how World of Warcraft is basically, since the age of 12, has been 1/3 of my life. I think in the last 10 years I have over 20,000 hours in that game, and it all started when I was 12 years old. I was introduced to the Rise of the Lich King server. Back in the days, I used to watch a streamer called Show the Poppin'. So I thought, hey, I want to try to play a Feral. And little did I know that it was a start of a long adventure. There was like many games like Counter Strike, League of Legends, Minecraft. But once I tried World of Warcraft, I knew it was all over for me. Um, Still remember my first raid. I remember I didn't know anything. I would just press random buttons. The rotations were not correct, but I was having fun. I was in a call with like 25 people. Everyone was so fucking old. Me being 12 or something, just trying to do something, trying to learn the basic strategies that are actually so simple nowadays. Um, Little did I know that. I exchanged pretty much my childhood, my early 20s to have some digital personality that I was somebody in a different world. Yeah, I still remember like I would get invited by girls to go outside to meet them. I would be like 14, or I would get like messages and I would just like deny everyone, ignore, just block everything, not answer to anyone. And it would have impact, I guess, on my early social life. I remember during like my birthdays or Christmas or New Year's, I would just chill like in a Stormwind or Orgrimmar, just flying around and yeah, just enjoying myself in my own room, in my own atmosphere. But yeah, it was not the most engaging life, but that's the thing what I chose. But at some point, I remember that after I played all the private servers, all the expansion that could be possible to be played, Blizzard announced the World of Warcraft token. And basically, World of Warcraft token was a currency that you could exchange your gold tokens into those tokens, and then you could just pay for the memberships for the expansions. So, me being like 14, 15, I don't know, it was like a massive thing. I could just play games like I used to play games and not pay a single dollar because if you're a kid, money is pretty much inflated. Like $1 is like $100 to a kid. Yeah, that's when I think the real game started, because that's where the PvP unlocked, or the actually hard PvE like Mythics. I would never imagine that it would fucking take hundreds of hours just to kill a boss. And I still remember like my first Mythic raids. I would play with like some old people. Uh, I'd have a job at the same time, so I'd run after I finished working to a raid just to be in time to start progressing. I can't remember. It was probably like in World of Draenor, the last Ice Crown. No, what was it? Something with Citadel. And I think the end boss was like Archimonde and Manarot or whatever. And I remember just like trying to kill those bosses. And it was pretty much a second full-time job. As soon as I finished school, I would just think about, my guild mates, the tactics, how I can improve my rotations and those kind of things. I was still bad at the game, but it was already like a really big role in my life. And I think by the time of Legion and Battle for Azeroth, I would start getting good at the game. I would play actually like a lot of arenas. I would abuse my PvE gear there because I would not be that good, but I would be good enough to get like 2.7 in twos or like 2.4 in threes. And I just remember like farming all the streamers that would just like boost their buyers for real life money or gold or whatever. and I would just take screenshots. Like people would actually recognize who I am. I would enter like chat rooms like, "Yo, weren't you the guy that killed like that stream?" I was like, "Yeah, that's me." Uh, and Back then I was playing Feral, and yeah, it was a big thing. I was like a Feral one trick pony, but like if you're a PvEer, I think the last time it was viable was like in Ice Crown Citadel or like Pandaria for Siege of Orgrimmar, if I remember it correctly. Um, but at some point, I switched from playing Feral to actually optimal classes like Fire Mages in Battle for Azeroth. So I would actually do like super high keys when the highest key would be like 28, 29. I would do like 24, 25, and I would not even try to push. It would just like come automatically to me. Yeah, I don't know, like I would just like continue playing more and more, being in the call with the boys. I remember I used to play with like people from Ukraine, Kazakhstan, and we would play like, I don't know, for days and days, just wake up, log into the Skype or Discord. Back then it was Skype. Yeah, it was like 8 in the morning and I would finish like 12 in the night or 3 in the night and just repeat it for months and months. And at some point, I would notice I have a problem. Like, I would see the whole world gray, like super depressed. You know, the usual. So I would try to stop, but I could never stop like forever. After like 1, 2 years, I would come back, and like the cycle just would never end. And at some point, I think during Legion, I would play like I was so fucked. I would play 3 games at the same time. I would play League of Legends, the World of Warcraft World Quest, and I think RuneScape at the same time, min-maxing that shit. And yeah, it was not I would say the healthiest thing somebody can do, but it was my life. That's how I thought I want to live it, and it was for sure fun. But at some point, especially if you grow up, you realize like, is that really what you want to do? Do you want to play games whole life? You're getting older. You have less time. I'm already like almost 25, and I feel like I missed out on so many things. I could have like studied way more. I would get better job. I could have lived in another country. Could have like I still didn't even have a real girlfriend. Like and I never had like a girlfriend when you were like in high school or college or whatever. But it's really not that important in life. Like sure you miss out on some things, but if you realize it fast enough, you can still like catch up. It's not all over, but you for sure need to grab life to their balls and just like push in. But like for example, I remember also, I think the best thing is it's like the memories you have. I still remember to this day. I think it was like 4 or 6 years ago. I would be like super high rated 10v10. Battlegrounds, and I think it was like 3,000 MMR in EU, and the community was super small, so you would know all the players you're playing against. You just like have so much fun. You would like sweat, fucking blast everyone, do stupid shit, like especially in 10 versus 10 people would fucking do crazy shit, like, fucking death threats, DDoSing, scripting, all that stuff. And it was just like part of the community. It was like, you know, I think people could compare it to like Counter Strike or Call of Duty type of toxicity, or like League of Legends, but like on steroids. And, it was actually something somebody would need to experience just to like say how it is. And yeah, I was really mad. And I the worst part, I think, both the 20,000 hours that I played, like I barely took any screenshots, I barely took any videos. Like I can't basically remember anyone that we used to play with, maybe like few people. And in the screenshots that I still have, like I look at the nicknames and barely recognize everyone. And I think like that's the worst part of being invested to games like this. Like people come and go. Like it would just like be super normal that your guild would disband. You would have the next month you're playing with new people and you think those people are gonna be like your friends forever, but you know, it's like people come and go. Some people, I remember some people, you know, they grow up, they have families. Like I remember my PvP partners. He telling me like, yeah, sorry, I can't play anymore. My girlfriend is pregnant. I'm like, fuck, it's time to find a new arena partner. Because how the fuck am I gonna play with a full-time father? And I remember also, I think I was 16, 17, 18 or whatever. And I was like some guy who would say, yeah, I'm a NEET. So basically, I'm not educated, I don't have a job, I'm just chilling home every day and playing World of Warcraft. Back then, I thought the guy was the biggest loser. But I swear to God, I think the same shit happened to me like 2, 3 years later. I was just like playing 16 hours a day. I think on average, like for a whole year, I would play like 8 to 10 hours. I would barely go outside. I would have like the closed curtains. I would not see like sunlight or anything. But yeah, it's like the choices I made, and I mean, there are way worse choices. But you know, if you want to progress in life, then it's not the most optimal one. And yeah. There's also like few things that I for sure learned and I can use in real life skill sets, but the question is, were these lessons worth the 20 plus K hours? Probably the answer is no, but hey, you know, it is what it is. And for example, the few things I wrote down is like, imagine you want to do something in life, like you want to go, I don't know, to a concert, to a festival, and usually most people, they'll just wait until they get invited, or like they don't want to do the initiative. So for instance, like let's say you wanted to do a raid, I would make my own raids. I would invite the people I want, like I would be in charge of everything. And I think people need to realize that, hey, you don't have to be waiting for other people. You have to initiate everything. If you want to do something, just do it. And then, like, if you want to be at the top, let's say in real life or in game, you need to know. Like, number one, I think, tip in real life is like, if you know people, it's way easier to do anything. Like, for example, if you know in World of Warcraft, like some gladiators, like high rated people who can play with you, they'll carry your ass. You're gonna be like at least like super high rated. Or like let's say you wanna get a job with a good office and you know like a manager or somebody who works there, you're just gonna say, yeah, I know that guy. And the chance that you can enter job is way higher. You don't have to do the interviews, you don't have to do anything. It's way easier. Or like you wanna, let's say you wanna special access to some place, like let's say the guy is the owner of a club, or he knows a guy who's owner of a club, then you're gonna have like, you know, that friend can say like, hey, if you want you can go there, I know him. It's like, hey, you can go backstage or whatever. You know, there's like really important things in life. Just know people, just like try to keep in touch with people, and it will just make your life easier. And let's say you want to make money in real life. How do you make money in real life? Do you do what everyone is telling you, like in YouTube, and try to milk everything out of you? Like, yeah, just start drop shipping or whatever. Just do what I did, and then imagine like thousands of people doing the same thing. You're not gonna earn a jack shit. But let's say like in World of Warcraft, you would watch how they call it, some YouTubers like, yeah, that's how you farm gold. Like, and then you would farm suboptimal, super slow gold. Yeah, it's like, you know, you have to do, you need to think out of the box, you know? You have to do stuff like that. I remember I used to like boost people, and I would earn decent amount of money for that, but still, like, you know, you had to be a little bit out of the box. You needed to use your skill set. Like, imagine I was good in doing PvE. That's how I can earn my money. Or like in real life, back when NFTs were a thing, I immediately thought, okay, I think it's about to be a big thing. Like, there's no way you're gonna find anything on the internet about it. I'm just gonna do it, invest some time. I made decent amount of money, but also lost like a super big amount of money. But you know, You live and you learn, and yeah, just try to do stuff that nobody else is doing. That's like the trick in life. And for example, how do you call it? Let's say you want to be invited. Do people gonna like, let's say like in World of Warcraft, are people gonna invite you if like shitty rated or like super bad a game? Of course not. The same thing is in real life. Like who the fuck wants to hang out with a bomb? You need to offer things to people. Like even with girls, like you need to ask a question. Would you date yourself? If the answer is no, then there you go. This is what you need to work on. If the answer is yes and you're not getting girls, just I don't know, skill issue, I guess. Just do the harder, you know. At some point, it's just like a numbers game. You just, like in anything, you just need to be lucky once, and then boom, it's good. You're gonna be in the rhythm, and then yeah, hopefully it will end up how you want it to be ended up. Would I do it all over again? Absolutely. I think it was like the best part of my life. There's nothing I think better that or most fun things happen. Sure, like maybe I was not living a real life, but it was a life. It was my digital life. Um, Maybe I can't tell anybody the things I did, like how fun it was, because they were not gonna understand it. But if you think it was fun, that was for sure worth it. And even if you're missed out on like you're mentally a little bit younger or whatever, you're like I don't know, like me 24, but I feel like I'm 20. Like who gives a fuck? Like live the life you want. Like there's not a wrong or right way to live. Just do whatever you want as long as you don't harm others, I guess. But like for sure, what I would say, like I have personally a really bad memory, and what I really regret not doing is to take more videos, to take more screenshots, like that you can like cherish and remember the things you did, and but the thing is you have to be really careful to not be too nostalgic about it. Like at some point you need to let go of your past and you know accept that in the end I think real life should have a little bit more priority. But personally, like if you feel like you wanna invest some few years of your life in your digital life, just do it. But you have to realize that in the end, like it really really slows down the potential of who you can be. I'm just trying to tell you how I feel, tell you how